Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. We are holding another meeting of the Military Industrial Commission, and today we will discuss a range of issues related to the development of the armed forces and the work of the military-industrial complex at the present stage, today and in the future. We will also analyze how orders and instructions are being carried out to supply the troops with the most in-demand types of weapons, equipment, and means of destruction, not only to units participating in a special military operation, which is an absolute priority, but also to the troops as a whole, to the Army, to the Navy. I would like to point out right away that last year, almost all defense enterprises fulfilled the tasks of the State Defense Order in full, efficiently and on time, and for some types of weapons, ahead of schedule. For example, the production of weapons, communications, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare systems has more than doubled. The troops have received over 4,000 units of armored weapons, 180 combat aircraft and helicopters. More than 1.5 million drones of various types were also delivered, including about 4,000 drones, controlled by the so-called FPV system, virtual reality, sent to the front lines every day. I know it very well, and many here who are participating in our meeting today know it no worse than I do. These weapons are still in short supply. They are in short supply. I know about the efforts that are being made by the Ministry of Defense, the Minister, and industrial enterprises. There are plans, and work is actually being done every day. I am sure that all plans to increase the production of the necessary equipment, in this case these drones, will certainly be fulfilled. They are very much awaited on the combat contact line. In fact, this is currently one of the serious factors of combat success. I would like to point out that the most popular models at the front are being rapidly improved. Their tactical and technical characteristics are improving, both taking into account the practice of combat use and the development of enemy countermeasures. And their developers, including leading Western arms concerns, are not standing still either. We know this, and the guys on the battlefield know this. The high technological dynamics of our production has been achieved, among other things, thanks to feedback from the front line. The Ministry of Defense has established such work with defense industry enterprises, and it should continue on a permanent basis. I would like to thank the teams of defense enterprises, their subcontractors, employees of design bureaus, test centers, and testing grounds. Your work and high dedication allowed the defense industry of Russia to cope with the tasks and challenges we faced. This year, they are even more extensive, including taking into account the implementation of the program for the expansion and modernization of military-industrial complex capacities, in which more than 400 enterprises are participating. I would like to emphasize that today, our experience of conducting a special military operation, both in terms of tactics and technical development of weapons, is being studied without any exaggeration by all armies of the world, leaders of the global arms industry and high-tech companies. And we need to be one step ahead, as we have repeatedly succeeded in doing recently, and I am sure will succeed in the future. As I have already said, it is necessary to continue to effectively adapt weapons and equipment to new, rapidly changing forms and methods of conducting military operations without bureaucratic red tape. We have all the opportunities for this. Taking into account the experience of combat operations, it is necessary to update the training programs in military schools and academies, schools for junior officers and sergeants. At the same time, seriously and deeply work out the combat regulations of the ground forces, starting from the level of the squad and company to corps and combined arms armies. I repeat once again, these processes must proceed simultaneously and in close interrelation with each other. And of course, we should take into account global trends in the development of military technologies as much as possible. That is, we should predict and understand what potential armed conflicts of the future might be. And the future is rapidly approaching. And the movement is faster and faster. The speed of these changes is increasing. It is also important to accelerate the production of robotic systems for various purposes and different locations. Special attention should be paid to unmanned boats and other marine systems. The current task is the development of laser systems capable of hitting various targets, in particular drones, and in the future, other military equipment, aircraft, missiles, etc., etc. In this area, we have certain practical developments. Manufactured systems already exist, but we need to move faster in these most modern, in-demand, promising areas. But I would also like to say something else. It is necessary to develop everything that is promising and everything that is not even discussed today. In our research centers, in design bureaus, in institutes, they are working on this, thinking about it, and proposing it today. I ask you to analyze everything most carefully, not to give up on it. This is not a task for tomorrow, but even for today, because if we do not think about it today, do not take care of it, tomorrow it will be too late. In addition, in compliance with the deadlines and assigned tasks, it is necessary to complete the formation of an orbital group of spacecraft for various purposes to conduct all types of reconnaissance and ensure stable continuous communications in a closed segment in a complex jamming environment, both directly during combat operations and, in general, for solving training and combat tasks in peacetime for the armed forces, special and other security agencies. This will allow us to complete the creation of a modern troop control system in real time and thereby seriously increase their combat potential. And of course, we should intensify the release and use of protected domestic software products and developments in the field of artificial intelligence for their use in complex automated military control systems. We all talk about artificial intelligence. It has become fashionable. No meeting in any field can do without it. But you must understand this. And, in fact, everyone understands that the possibilities of using artificial intelligence are colossal. And whoever begins to master these technologies faster, in this case in military affairs, will have huge advantage on the battlefield. We must never forget this. We have other ideas, other developments. We will talk about this separately. Now let's start working according to the plan.